Hello, hello. I'm never sure if we're connected or not. I mean, it shows me we
Hello.
are, but how's it going? How's it going? Potty
I'm
mouth
just
mama?
looking at the chat, making sure I'm muted.
Okay. Potty mouth mama. Jenna. Miss you,
Hey,
Jenna.
Winky.
Nikki Tor.
Oh, hey, Jenna.
Mama for sons. Yes. We're live over here. Testicle. Horns, man. Or lady. Or whatever. Horns. What the F is happening? Oh, man. So while we're waiting for some people to show up, basically, I wanted our day to be Monday, right? But so many
Yeah.
things were going on
Yeah.
that it was more fair, I think, to just
Hey,
postpone it
Sally.
a day. Hi, Sally. Hey, Brian. You're not down with the sickness. Good.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously a really small channel anyway, and we also try to show deference to the people that are doing their streams,
Yep.
and sometimes they have to change their schedule around, and we try
Yep.
to fit in our little stream somewhere in
Hey,
between all
Rebecca.
the other things going on.
Yeah, because also people want to. I'm sorry, people wanted to watch what was going on last night.
Yeah.
You know, and like I don't know, 5 nights before that for 6 to 8 hours a night.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
I watched so many streams last week in this community. It might, I don't know, it might be a record.
I think okay. It's a record for me because I started adding up the hours of time that I was listening. I was like, oh my god, what have I become? Who am I?
Yeah. That was probably a colossal waste of your time.
It wasn't because, well, okay, so I thought it was. If we weren't here on this channel, it would have been. But because
Yeah.
we are here on this channel, I can actually probably articulate a sentence or respond to some of your observations. If we didn't have this channel, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it would have been a
You
waste of
would have
time.
been doing something
Oh
more
my
productive.
god. There was one stream and I was like, I was listening to every word that the person was saying. I was reading the chat and I was doing things. So I go back and like reread the chat. And I was like, oh my God. At one point I looked down and I'm like, this has been on for 6 hours. And it was about one human being. I was like, woo. But
Yep. So it
again,
must have been interesting because the time just flew by
it,
and you
you
didn't
know
even
what?
realize.
It did. I zoned out a little bit. It gets repetitive at some point. But yeah, I mean, it did. Some of them were well done, even though they were long. Could I tell somebody where to go back and watch a certain point? No.
Yeah.
I'm lost. But yeah. But yeah. You got Gap Welcome in, Brian St. John. So we're here to talk about things that not kind of things that have happened. You know, guys know what we do, but we normally start off with basically our disclaimer. And so you want me to take it this time? My
Yes, I
turn.
don't have it up.
Okay. So the disclaimer is we're going to talk about the community, okay? But the disclaimer is we're not relevant. We know that. We don't have everything figured out. We're just trying to figure things out using logic, and we might get that wrong. So disagreement with our views is welcomed. Also, we're not here to promote channels or spread hate to other channels. Everyone in the chat is free to express their opinions and views, but the views of the chat do not necessarily reflect the views on the panel. And also, if you just want to come lurk, you're more than welcome to just come lurk too. You can hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs down, just be honest. Or, hang out. It's all cool. But we like the participation too, because we're discussing concepts behind the behavior, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Even
without further
though
ado,
we're hypocrites because we don't participate anymore in the community, and all we do is lurk. But in our stream, please participate if you feel comfortable doing so.
yeah, for sure. For sure. Hey, Alice Nurse. Cool. So there was a lot of stuff. A lot, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's just been a lot of sick stuff going on in this community.
Yeah. So the sickness isn't necessarily about disease of a human being. It's more about dis-ease, having dis-ease about the things that are going on. Are you down with it or not? We want to talk about that. Thanks, Brian.
And we are going to talk about someone who might be physically ill. Who knows?
Hi, Breaking the Silence. Welcome in. Hi, Ems. Amanda Ray.
Hi, Ems. Amanda Ray.
It is. I can take no credit for the concept. Brian. Some twisty ass fuckery. That's one kind way of putting it. So, yeah. So let's discuss.
Hey, Morgs.
Oh, hi, Morgs. How's it going? Good. I hope. Let's discuss the sick stuff happening in the community.
Yeah. Well, we were just saying when we were talking together about there's some sick stuff going on last week and this week. Even though we're not going to talk about this week yet, if ever.
Dude. Yeah, hopefully
we may
not.
never talk about it.
Hopefully we don't have to. How about that?
Yeah. There's some subjects that just a lot of times just should never be touched.
Thank you so much, Alice Nurse. That's very, very kind of you. That's awesome to hear. That's good, positive feedback. Yeah, I mean, there are subjects that, first of all, we're being told right now in the world what we can and can't talk about. Okay, so there's that. But then there's also instances where it's just not, it's not smart, but it's also not very nice, right? It doesn't mean that you're not allowed to think what you want to think, but maybe you don't talk about it,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there's just some things I just don't want to talk about.
Yeah, you're not going to touch them. And there's some things you're really not supposed to discuss on YouTube. And, we're just starting this channel, so it would be kind of cool to keep it going. You're just here to make bad jokes. Good, Jenna, because I'm going to need them. And I'll help you out with that one, too. So this is a different channel, Linky. This is not my channel. This is Lurker's Logic. So we're not monetized. This is a new channel. It's a new channel.
Thanks, Alice Nurse. She said that she's been watching our streams on replay.
Yeah.
I think our streams are more of a replay-friendly stream.
Yeah, especially considering if people are lurking and not really chatting. But, if they want to participate in the conversation, then it's all good. I mean, that's, it's helpful to be here live. But, oh, well, thank you, Testicle. Gosh, you're so nice. Hi, Turquoise. Okay, so I know that a certain someone wanted to talk about some of the sickness that was alleged in the community. So I'm going to let her do that.
Are we gonna, I hate to do this live, but should we just use the first name and not the last name of the person?
Why not? Everybody knows who we're talking about, even if we don't use the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Speaking about real sickness, not just YouTube behavior sickness,
Not
but
YouTube shitfuckery.
yeah, but physical illness. So we're going to talk about the Kim stuff
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's been talked about. Well, so last week we said, is this the calm before the storm? And before the stream even ended,
Yeah.
the storm started.
Yeah, the eye was overhead. It was. The eye was upon
and
us.
and it lasted all week.
It did. It did. It lasted. Yeah, it did. It lasted from the day of until it's going again now. I just came
Even
from a stream
now.
where it was going, yes. Hey, Black Dahlia Presents and Donna. Thank you, Donna.
Yeah. And so that is the Kim situation.
Yep.
And we all know who she is. She is someone that, we were told had a very, I guess you would say terminal illness.
Mm-hmm. Very serious.
And was on palliative, am I saying that right? Palliative care.
Everybody says it different, but yeah.
Yeah. And so, we've known about this for a while, and I was trying to think of when she was first hospitalized with the pulmonary embolism thing. That was like last fall sometime.
Yeah, I have no idea. I just full disclosure, I don't know.
Okay. I'll try to rely on my memory of
for that
the history.
Part. I can help you. I can help you more recently because she requested something more recently. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I thought that I would, be really honest about, my feelings about and the situation and hopefully my feelings and using logic, hopefully, and not emotion. So I've never spoken about her publicly, like, in a chat or on a stream or anything.
None of us, neither of us have. Let's just make that very, very clear.
That's true. Mm-hmm. And but we have spoken privately among our YouTube friends about what we thought, just not on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because of all of the information that came out this past week, I think that it's not inappropriate to speak about my opinions now because, there's just everything's out there. What the exact truth is, who knows? Right. But there's a lot of information out there.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was going to say is that I had my doubts about her ever since the community was told about her hospitalization with a pulmonary embolism, prior to being told about her much more serious illness, right? So after that, we found out she had a really serious illness. And the reason why I doubted her from the beginning is because someone that is fighting for their life in the hospital with a pulmonary embolism, like multiple clots happening, and they're fighting for their life, they don't announce it in the chat of a live stream on YouTube.
Right.
That's my opinion, because to me, that's not credible. And if you've ever been really sick or struggling for your life, you know that you don't give two craps about YouTube.
Well, I mean, I can relate to this, right? No, I'm not that situation. But I can relate to being very sick. And I'm going to tell you that I could not see because I was unable to open my eyes because I was in so much pain. The last thing I wanted was my phone. I was asking for extra drugs at the hospital so I could stop living, not because I was suicidal, but because I was in so much pain and there was absolutely nothing they could do but let me suffer through it. That I, so what I did is because I had told people on YouTube that, privately on in Discord that I was going into the hospital, I knew they would worry, right? And so when people were in a voice chat, I got lucky a couple times over 3 days and was able to pop in and say, "You guys don't have to worry about me. I'm cool." But that was it. There was no texting. There was no live streams. Every time I opened a live stream, I I don't know how my phone survived it. I don't know how because it was so painful. Everything was painful. So everybody's experience is different, of course, but that's
But
why
you don't.
I also
Hey,
didn't
Kimberly.
I didn't I, I
Yeah,
didn't give it a lot of
I
validity.
just, I just didn't find it credible because we were
Thank you,
told that she
dear.
was struggling for her life in the hospital with something very serious that could have killed her, and yet she's announcing it in a live stream, and that's just
Sure.
not what people do, in my opinion. So my point is that I had my doubts about her story
Right.
and what she was saying.
Yeah.
Because like I was saying, when you're in the hospital, your thoughts are about how horrible you feel. You're thinking about dying. You're
I
thinking
got a
about your
pet at home that
family.
needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
What's my kid gonna do? What's yeah. Yeah, I mean all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff probably. And even if I was filthy rich, I have to be honest with you. It was too painful. It was too painful. It's not, it doesn't make sense. The other thing is now imagine that you could live stream. Let's say that you had an event happen on your live stream and you started recovering in a rehab, like in a hospital. We've had someone in another community that is intertwined with ours who went through that experience and they live streamed from a hospital room briefly because they wanted to let them know that their people that they were alive and they were fighting and they were good, right? But it was after
Yeah.
a duration of time that had gone by. And so
Yeah.
there were just little things like that we were seeing other stuff happening in the community way different.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. You're not allowed to publicly doubt anybody when they say they're sick, right?
Right.
And why not?
And that's well, here's the thing. I didn't feel bad about doubting her because her behavior was not credible to me. So
Yeah.
I don't feel bad about that.
Yeah.
But the other reason why I didn't feel bad about doubting her is because I don't know her. I'm not friends with her. I can't validate anything she says, and I'm not going
Mhm.
to try to because I don't look people up, and
Yeah.
basically it's none of my business.
Oh, looking people up. Yeah. It isn't. I mean, once people make things public, you have a right to your private opinion, right? Um, I think you definitely are. Your people are going to judge you. Like, oh, that's a really tough spot because once you start sharing information on YouTube, people are going to judge it. They're going to make assessments and they're going to judge it. But it doesn't mean they have to talk about it.
Right. So, just because you doubt someone, it
Mm,
doesn't mean that you have to be public about it.
I'm sorry, Morgs. That's horrible. I believe that you are in pain from your tooth. See, I mean, that's something that you can type while you're, yeah. Oh,
But the thing about her story is that things changed because she started using her illness to manipulate people.
mm-hmm.
And basically to get everyone to stop talking or speaking out about her YouTube creator friends for her sake because she wanted peace.
And this
And
is where my
that's,
memory kicks in on it.
yeah. And that seemed very manipulative
And
to me.
gross.
And that's when people started, saying publicly that
Yeah.
they had their doubts.
Yeah.
Because when someone starts manipulating people, that's when I think that it's appropriate to express your doubts. I didn't, though. It still seemed like, it might be in poor taste because, I still don't know. Even though I doubt her, I'm still not sure. Like, I have no way of knowing. But there were some people that said, all right, this whole, don't mess with these people. Why can't we just all have peace? They were like, all right, hold up. There's just something about this just doesn't seem right.
Right. And I think that's the point. Like, okay, if someone comes out and they say, look, I'm ill, I'm not going to be around as much or whatever, right? Thank you guys for supporting me, blah, 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 right? That's one thing. You still have a right to just not believe them. But it's when they start asking for stuff that it gets real sketch. Because you're like, well, wait a minute. Like, that's an interesting thing to ask for as well. While you're going into basically end stage or long term end of life care, right?
Yeah.
Breaking the Silence says, I swear this could be a lifetime movie. Yeah. Probably be a full feature film. I could put the actors right in there. We could do a little, what was that? Eyes Wide Shut. We could do some Eyes Wide Shut. Sorry, I can't resist. I couldn't resist. Okay.
To continue on with the story, because this has a timeline, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So people felt manipulated,
Yeah.
and they started expressing their doubts publicly. And then Kim's friends said that the doubters were horrible for doubting her.
Mm-hmm.
And that bothered me because we have the right to doubt someone whose behavior is not credible and who is trying to manipulate people and situations.
Yeah, totally.
And
Trying to
so
produce an outcome.
I think that people need to stop feeling like they aren't a decent person if they doubt or disbelieve people on freaking YouTube that they don't know in real life.
And
Like,
you never meet.
I don't even expect the people in this chat to believe me.
Right.
Because they don't know me. I mean, you guys don't know me. You've never met me. You can't validate anything I tell you about myself. I'm not your coworker, your neighbor, a church member. I'm not a friend of a real life friend. I'm not your real life friend even. I'm just the voice on YouTube.
Right.
Or, a typer in a chat, and that's it. And you don't owe me your trust. You don't owe anyone on the internet your trust. No. And you're not a bad person for doubting people.
Yeah, no. In fact, it's self-preservation. It's self-preservation in the real world too. Like if a random person walked up to you that you'd never had contact with before and they asked you to borrow your car, would you just hand them the keys? No, you don't never met them before. You don't have to trust them. So it's kind of the same thing, you know what I'm saying? I think anyway. And I admit I didn't believe it either. And I didn't even know this person. And she knew everyone. But anyway, and it where the doubt came in for me was in the ask, when you're asking for something. And as of today, I don't know. I mean, there's more saga continuance today, a little bit with this.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna, I guess there's more to it.
Yeah.
And listen, like I am not saying that she doesn't have an illness. I'm not saying that. I don't know. But I do have my doubts, and I have a right to those.
You do.
And, God bless her. I hope that she is not.
Yeah.
as ill as she said. Like, I really hope she's not, but I just don't know. I mean, we really don't know. It does seem that, not everything that she says adds up. Put it that way. But don't feel bad for not believing everybody's story on here, especially if they start manipulating people.
I see what you're saying, Morgs. Yeah, for sure. Speak truth with love. I mean, it's exactly right because I remember feeling kind of bad, for having doubt, and so I think that that's it's good. We should give ourselves permission to be able to doubt people on the internet that we've never met and never will meet. Hi, Blaze. Let's see. What do you guys think? There's more today. There was a little bit more going on today, Donna, but I can't speak to it because it's people that were connected to her. But I'm sure you'll catch wind. Hi, Arian.
I like
Finfro.
what the potty mouth mama says. If you spend your life lying, you can't expect others to believe you when it's most important.
Mm. Quote of the day. Quote of the week.
Yeah.
Maybe quote of the last 2 weeks because this will probably continue into this week if people can. Yeah, it's true. A lot of untrue things were said too, but uh, there you go. Carla Ray has questions, and I mean these are valid. These are valid things.
Breaking the Silence says, everything that's going on lately makes me doubt everything. I think she meant to say everything
Oh
instead
yeah,
of
I think so
anything.
too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's okay to doubt.
it is. In
Don't
fact, I think
feel,
it's healthy. I think it's healthier than
yeah.
just blindly. There's probably a happy medium, right? But at the end, like being more reserved about what you're willing to just buy into, I
And
feel like it keeps me out of trouble a little bit.
and the other thing, I was explaining at the beginning is that I didn't just doubt just for the sake of doubting. Like, there
Hmm.
was stuff there that made me wonder. The behavior was not credible. And so red flags started going up for me, like right off the bat. And so my
Hmm.
doubt was based on information.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't just founded in nothingness. Like, oh, I just want to feel this way. You had information to steer you in a particular direction. I'll admit, I blindly believe people. I just assume people aren't lying about serious situations. I I used to be like that. Thank you. Next. And I still, for the most part, really just take everybody at face value, as long as I'm not emotionally or financially connected to the situation. It doesn't matter. That's why I think I can do that, and that might be why you can do it too, because you're not emotionally involved in it. I don't know. What are your thoughts occurring lately, ladies? From Fireside Kim to Breaking. Uh, I don't know. I don't really have any thoughts on the latter. The former we just discussed. Sorry. Sorry if I'm
Um,
missing any really good comments. Let me know because there's a lot.
Breaking the Silence was saying that, she just trusts less now, and is not getting too invested. And, that's kind of what we were, explaining about our channel a few streams ago, is that, you know, just lurking and not
Yeah.
being involved has kind of kept us from being too emotionally invested in everything, and just,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, just thinking about things on, hopefully a more logical perspective.
Yeah, and I'd also like to thank the people who left the streams, like the long streams up, and didn't put information out there and just delete their channel or hide the videos or that sort of thing, because it helped everybody, I think, to be able to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And because they were so long, sometimes people have to go to the bathroom or take care of a kid or walk a dog or, be with their spouse for an hour, that sort of stuff. So I thank you to those people. By the way. Mm. You demand peace because you broke your pinky toe. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. What's up, Sin? How you doing? Ooh, the latter can be summed up in one word, narc.
Milking Kekanade has a good comment. I have lurked for a long time and try not to let my humor get in the way of the serious.
I struggle with that. I
Yeah.
struggle with that a lot.
Because sometimes we just laugh about everything, because it's just like, this is so crazy
Mm-hmm.
that I can't even take it seriously sometimes.
I really struggle with that a lot. And sometimes I'm just thinking about what's been relevant, in my opinion, to come here and speak about. I just look at stuff and I'm like, it's hard. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's hard to find something that has a serious, good message to it, but it can always be achieved if you try hard enough. But yeah, sometimes you just have to laugh at this crap.
Natalie Kay says it's sad now, though, because when very serious discussions come up, nobody wants to share for fear of judgment. Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, people
yeah.
that make stuff up and get caught, do make it where, other people are going to be less believed, less likely to be believed,
Well,
who
yeah,
are telling the truth.
but there's another side to that, and I have been wanting to talk about this for a while, but I guess I can make it brief because Natalie's touched so well on it that sometimes, um, that old saying back in the day, never let them see you sweat.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the oversharing of information gives people the opportunity to see you sweat. And so
Yeah.
if you're going to be in drama, it's a really, really good idea to kind of, in my opinion, either not share anything that you don't feel comfortable with people using against you, or just don't let them see you sweat, period. And I just had to say, I've been wanting to kind of bring this up as a discussion topic for a minute, and I appreciate that comment a lot. Oh no, Jenna.
What did she say?
She thinks the key to peace may be in Mildly Sunny's pinky toe, and we'd have to cut it off to find out. I mean, brutal. My goodness.
Jenna.
She's gonna sacrifice her pinky for. Look, this is okay. If you guys are actually gonna meet up, I might believe you someday. Cut off your pinky toe for peace. You feel comfortable here? You usually don't chat this much. I'm glad you do. I hope that we can continue to um, have you feeling safe and chatting. That's kind of one of the reasons why we want to talk about this stuff, is because we don't really feel comfortable chatting most places. So want to have a place where people do, if we can, and if not, they can learn. Lots of subs
And
who literally have no one. There are subs that are bedridden There are just so many things here. That's very true, breaking the silence. Some people can't leave their house. They're bedridden. Mm-mm-mm. It's true.
I was just going to say about that
Yeah.
last comment too, is that, this is also a safe place to disagree with the people on the panel,
Yeah, we're not going to block you or yell at you. I hope. I can only speak for myself. This one's crazy, but we're not going to yell at you.
Yeah, just don't be really hateful. That's all.
Don't be really hateful. So you could be a little hateful.
Well,
Just don't be totally. Sorry.
you and I can handle a little bit of hate. It doesn't
Yeah.
really get us upset too much, but
Yeah. I'm not, you're not very easily disturbed by things like that. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully this wraps up. Hopefully she can heal in peace, and nobody here, like neither of us, and nobody that I know of wishes her any harm. So there's that. Well, there might be one person that doesn't like her very much, and deservedly so, but I'll just leave that to be talked about elsewhere, if ever.
So what other sick things were we gonna talk about?
So I was going to talk, or I think you were going to talk about the sickness of, how would I describe it? The way I think I described it was basically that the standards have been moved. We talked about this a little bit ago about looking people up, and it's
Yeah.
related to doxing, but it's step one, right, of doxing is looking someone up.
Yeah. I like how you put that. It's step one.
It is. Absolutely. It's step one. If you are going to ultimately dox someone, step one is admitting you have a problem and looking them up.
Yeah.
And lately, the reason why we're talking about it is feeling okay about that. Like not feeling shame about that.
Nope.
Not feeling like
No longer.
It is amoral. Not feeling like your privacy would be violated if somebody looked you up. So you're doing unto others, apparently. Right? I mean, we were saying earlier a year and 2 months ago, if anybody came out and said, and this is before the sides formed, by the way, which is another whole thing. If anybody was found out to have looked someone up, ooh, Beelzebub girl. It was bad. It was bad, bad. And now
anyone would have been ashamed to say that they had looked somebody up just a year ago.
Do we think what will die out? Thank you. Next, the looking up or the Kim Sitch? Sorry, I wanted to answer her before. Oh, the Kim Sitch. No, I think it'll die out, but it'll rear its head again. Sorry, I didn't. I thought maybe we were talking about this with the looking up thing, but yeah, I mean it will. Sorry, I just got a little bit lost.
Donna's Crafty Creation says it was 1 year, 2 months, 43 minutes, and 15 seconds ago. It was completely wrong to look people up.
Right.
Yeah. But, well, the reason why we started talking about this was over the weekend, there were 3 creators on a panel saying that it's okay to look people up that talk about you on YouTube. And they were talking about how it's okay because it doesn't meet the definition of doxing, because doxing is, is sharing it publicly. Yeah. And so they were talking about, looking people up they were just talking about it like it's a completely normal thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Let me address something real quick here. Yes, we are behind on comments. Thank you, Next, because freaking StreamYard is laggy as heck, so I apologize for
Oh,
that.
okay.
But yeah, it would have been shameful, and people would have looked at you sideways because there were people who got busted for looking people up, and guess what? They got side-eyed.
Yeah. Not anymore. Now creators are just openly saying, yeah, I look people up if I feel like I need to. And it's not doxing because I'm just sharing it with my friends
Mm-hmm.
and
That's
just totally normalizing looking people up.
so yeah, and I mean, breaking the silence says it is the new normal around here. Um, Jenna says, I can admit I've looked people up, mainly the asshole that assaulted my mom. Didn't that happen in your real life, though, not on YouTube, Jenna? Unfortunately, I think I remember that
Yeah,
moment.
we're talking about, people on YouTube.
Yeah, because if it was somebody in real life, oh yeah, yeah, it happened in real life. She said so. Yeah, I mean for sure. Agree to disagree, or you'll end up in a tangled web, is what I've learned. We should support or talk to whom we wish without judgment. Another thing I've learned in stepping away from YouTube. Yeah, good point. Sometimes taking a step back and taking a break can give you some clarity because, hey, there were people saying these things that I didn't know. I didn't hear those words come out of their mouth. And some of these lives were not 6 hours or 7 hours. They were like 8 hours long. So if you miss 20 minutes of an 8-hour live stream, you might be running around the community completely clueless that people that you might like think it's cool. Or it's okay, I should say. Not cool, but it is okay. Were there any circumstances given? Like, well, if they did this, then I could look them up.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically they talk bad about me,
No.
that kind of thing. I mean, they don't have any real, I should say, I don't think that every time they've done it, they've been like seriously afraid for their, for their life or
Yeah.
in real, that something in their real life was going to happen. I mean, let me ask the chat. Are you guys cool with me looking you up? Not that I know how. I don't know how these creators are figuring out who people are, but let's just say somehow I figured out what your real name is. Is it cool if I look you up and get information about where you live or work, or if you're married, or what your spouse does for a living? I mean, is that cool with everybody? Is that the new standard? That's cool? And let's just say that I'm just going to share it with my close YouTube friends. Not that you know who all that is, but don't worry. I'm just going to share it with my close friends.
It's all cool.
And we know how well YouTube friendships, how long they last. I mean, they last forever, right?
Right.
YouTube friendships are enduring.
Nobody breaks up ever. Right. Nope. Nobody ever does. So there were a couple people in the chat that said that they had looked people up out of curiosity, but they didn't share the information because they were just curious about the person. There's someone saying, yeah, they both are kind of just like, I was curious about that person, so I looked them up, but I didn't ever share that information. So nobody would really have any way to know whether or not you shared the information, right? But I mean, that's better than sharing the information. But are you guys cool? Like, if let's say Speak Truth with Love over here is getting real curious, and she's like, "Who is this testicle in the chat?" and she knows the ways.
Somehow I'm going to figure out how to, what their real name is.
She just wants to know what's up. No, you came here with testicle for a reason. So she's not, or he or she is not cool with it.
I just want to know where you live and if you're married, what your
Right.
spouse's name is.
How much you make, and if you live in a group home, and if you live in your mom's basement, and these are the things that I'm going to need to know later when we have a war. Okay.
Exactly.
I need to use against you.
That's the point that you were making when we talked about this earlier, is that what how could you need that information for anything good?
I don't. I've been so curious about people sometimes, like if they're not on camera and they're talking, I'm like, I wonder how old they are. But it kind of like starts and dies there, because here's the thing. I treat it very much like I would treat my boyfriend. I'm not going to go digging in his phone unless he asks me, can you check this and this on my phone? I'm not going to go digging under a bed. I'm not going to go digging through. I'm not looking through his wallet trying to find some stuff, because I might not like what I find. And if I go out looking for trouble, I guarantee you I can make trouble. And I've always been like that. And I've always had friends that would go through their boyfriend's things or their spouse's things. And I'm like, dude, don't do it. You're going to make something up in your head. You're going to find something that you're looking for. So I liken it to that, because you know what? If I'm meant to know it, it's coming to me. It's going to come to me. I'll know. I really believe that. Night shift is starting. All right. Take care, milking. Get to milking. Thank you for coming in and sharing your chat with us. But you know what I mean? I liken it to that. Thank you, all listeners. Hi, Ira Rising. Long time no see. But I mean, do you see what I'm saying? The comparison there? Does that seem like a good analogy?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of see, how they're similar.
You can tell me now.
I'm
not feeling it.
I was thinking about it. The problem is that and I think this is what's going to happen. Okay. When you, now, of course, Testicle says that they don't do that, right? They didn't share it anywhere, but most people, I think, are going to want to share it. Like, oh, I found out what this person looks like, and I found out how old they are, and they're a catfish or whatever. Yeah. I mean, most people, it seems like they don't keep it to themselves.
Yeah. They don't. And I mean, that's kind of like, sometimes there's a point. What if you stumble on something super juicy? Like you're looking someone up and you go, "Ooh, girl, she has a red room in her house. Okay. There are 70 whips on the wall. Oh my God. Are you going to keep that to yourself for real? You're not going to tell anybody. No one.
I'm not going to know about the red room because I'm not going to ever look the person up in the first place.
I'm just saying, if the person who's just curious about someone, if you stumble on that, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to keep that. Nobody else in your life understands this community other than the people in it. I'm sorry, that's going to be a hard one.
I mean, I guess I can't relate because
that's an extreme situation also. I'm being very, very dramatic. Thank you, just for you 247. It's good to see you. Aw, Linky. Yeah, I think it is step one into the bad place, into the naughty spot. You know what I mean? You wouldn't say anything. I tend to want to believe you, Testicle. Testicle, you are very secretive. And that's, good. That's good. Um, oh my goodness. You guys have dirty minds. If you go looking for trouble, you'll find it. You're compelled to dig into someone's life. There's already trust issues. Yeah, probably. You have to either take people at face value and not get too invested, or I don't know, maybe not be on YouTube. You'll be honest. You got Aaron Carter tripping the other night by your name. You were rolling. Yeah, he may or may not be under some certain influences, and I don't mean alcohol. He might have other stuff going on, is what I mean. So yeah, I would imagine you'd be able to get him going.
Testicle says that a red room is not extreme.
Hey, you know what? To each their own, though. You know what 2 consenting adults do, or 80 consenting adults do in the privacy of their own dungeon is not my business. And no, I don't see the pictures, but thanks a lot, people. Thanks. I see where I rank in the community. Sorry, I had to crack that joke. But back to the looking people up thing. So we've decided collectively as a community, right, that this is the new norm. That's okay.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's not okay for me, just so you know. It's not okay for me. What about doxing? What about step 2? Is that okay too? Is
right, like if the slippery slope is applicable here, I guess that doxing will soon be acceptable.
Yep. Because we're pushing the needle, right? So things don't typically end where they start. They normally end a little further advanced. I don't know what we're talking about in the chat. I got lost a little bit. You've been disappointed by the lack of sex dungeons in the house. No wonder I got lost. I'm not feeling 100%. Not to tell you guys I'm sick, but it was not okay. You need the red rooms, the dungeons. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I think that we could. Maybe I'm an idiot, right? But I think that we could go back to a place if collectively subscribers, all of us as subscribers, said, you know what? I might really like that creator, but they just freaking said, yeah, I look people up all the time. I'm not going to be in their chats. I'm not going to support them. I'm not going to PayPal them or super chat, or even if they're not monetized. That's one thing I can't get over, because for me, it's one thing I can't kind of get over. Like if you're gonna dox people, now let's say you dox somebody 6 months ago or a year ago or something like that, and it was kind of trolly, kind of malicious, blah blah blah, right? And you came out, you apologized for it, and you stopped that behavior, and that's making amends to me. To me, that's making amends. To me, is taking action to prove that you really are sorry and you're not going to do it again. That person, I can absolutely get behind that and support that, because people do make mistakes. They may have come here from places where they already knew people's names, like Facebook. There are Facebook true crime groups. They all know each other's names and stuff. So it's just one of those things where I could be like, okay, well, hey, they were just learning the rules of the road and they effed up. They said they're sorry and they showed they're sorry. But that's not what I heard. That's not what I heard.
Yeah, no, they're not sorry.
Privacy of their own dungeon, yeah. They're not sorry. And you know what? If you're not sorry, I'd rather you not apologize, because at least you're not completely lying about that anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I had not thought about that, but that is one thing. Like the people that look people up, at least they're admitting it. So you know who to avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
I feel like it's in everyone's best interest to speak out against looking people up. Mm-hmm. But, what do I know? That's how I feel about it. I feel like it makes it safer to be on here. Which is one of the reasons why I don't participate as much and why
Mhm.
I lurk more.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor you got Gap says I have only sent a PayPal to 3 people on here because I know it goes to my personal email. I wonder if it wouldn't be cool to if it wouldn't be cool to like just make a business account. Like I'm thinking about maybe doing a little tutorial on that. Can you take her last name out of your name, Filthy Mouth? That would be kind of cool. Just as a personal favor. If not, that's okay too. But she's asked for her that name not to be used on YouTube. I'm trying to respect that. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. I mean, the comment was funny.
It is. It is
The
funny. That's why I'm
comment
like,
was
can you just take
fine.
that part out of your name and I'm
Yeah.
cool? Yeah, because we know that's true.
Yeah. It's not the comment, it's the name.
Yeah, trying not to become the thing that I'm trying to stand against here.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, no offense. You're hilarious.
That's funny. Did you see you got gapped was like, oh, I typed too much. She remembers me saying that if people type too much. I don't like it. Like if they type a
Oh,
big
oh.
paragraph. So she's like, oh, I typed too much. That's okay. I'm not good at reading the long ones, but Eritrea is very good at reading long comments. So
Girl,
that's
I
her job.
try. I try. I try. I try. I try. I try. Not always the quickest, but same reason I don't email or PayPal. Yeah, I mean, people. There's all kinds of junk going on. But yeah, I was thinking about maybe making a tutorial, but at the end of the day, it's like so much better. Just do it through super chat. Are you a bad person now? For what? What'd you do? Because you want dungeons? Oh, the last time I looked someone up was because they asked me if they could find out what a search would bring up regarding doxing. That person is safe. Well, it sounds like you're doing someone a favor. So I don't think you're a bad person, but I don't know, maybe you weren't.
Hey,
But
Angel
I still
Pepper.
don't think you're a bad person. Hi, Angel Pepper. You see these people who are looking up, someone should think these people might have been looked up. How did it feel for them? Yeah, I mean, a lot of the people who are looking people up have been looked up themselves, but that's a whole other topic too, because I think there's sometimes a reason for that. A lot of it is like back and forth. You don't talk too much. Hush your mouth. And you too, Gemma. Sorry, I'm getting bossy now.
Didn't
But
we talked about PayPals and super chats? I think in our last stream,
yeah,
um, Irie Rising was asking us to do a
mhm.
tutorial, but we talked about it a little bit.
I
I
should
think in
probably
our
do
last
that.
stream,
Yeah,
or
I
it
was
might have been the
thinking.
one before that. I can't remember.
Yeah, no, I think it was the last one we were talking about fundraisers, and I was saying every one of you can create a Streamlab account, and then you put in the name of who the donation comes from. Um, but you can also take your PayPal and just convert your personal PayPal into a business PayPal. You give it an LLC name, that sort of thing. And I was thinking to do a tutorial about it, but when I went on PayPal's website to see how do I convert my personal PayPal into a business, it was so dead simple that I'm like, everybody should just do this if you feel like you want to be able to contribute. You know what I mean? Just do that and uh save yourself the pain of putting your name out there. Linky Tor says dungeons can be fun. It's cool. Good to know. Good to know, Linky. Good to know. I'm learning so much about our audience here. They like the dungeons. Oh, okay. So you were gonna
So
type a lot, but erased it out of appreciation. Why? You don't have to erase it.
Okay, so let's do our kudos or giving credit.
You want to
Like,
skip over my little piece?
oh, what else did you want to talk
Well,
about? I'm
I
sorry.
wanted to talk about the concept of owning it.
Okay.
And I think and I'll make it very, very brief because we try to keep this to an hour, hour and a half. Um, how long have we been going? Are we at? No, we're at an
About,
hour. We're at an
yeah.
hour. We're good. So the concept of owning it, and when I say I owned it, I did it, I owned it, I already owned it. You guys know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know who I'm talking about, you
A few
you will.
people come to mind, but go ahead.
Okay. So when I started thinking about this concept of owning it, because all you're really saying is one of maybe three things. A, I did it. B, I got busted and I did it. Or C, uh, I've been forced, this has been forced down my throat. Fine, I own it. I did it. So you're admitting to it and you're taking ownership of this thing. In the context of how I hear it used here, that's the way I interpret it. And I think that's reasonable. And so you're mostly, what I hear it around here is you're mostly owning it once you've been exposed for committing the behavior or committing the act or saying the bad thing. But that's really only step one of fixing the problem. This person that I'm thinking of thinks of owning it as like a badge of bravery because they're a
Right.
warrior and they've gone to
Yeah.
war. I owned it. Yes, I hurt someone and I own that and I will never take it back. In my mind, I thought, or I was raised to think that, hey, owning your behavior means taking accountability for what you did that negatively impacted somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And it applies to everybody, not just one person. Um, sorry, I looked at the top for a second. And
And I
so
mean, what's the alternative to owning it?
denying it when you've been outed.
Denying it. Like, it's like, oh, well, congratulations for not denying something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Congratulations for getting busted and then having to admit that you did the bad thing. Um, you know, what is that really Remy?
Yeah, I think she changed her
Okay.
name to be something hard to clone.
Okay, good. Good. Okay. Hi, Remy.
Hey,
Um,
Remy.
yeah, I don't that it doesn't it this is just my opinion. I think owning it is worse than not owning it because you're basically bragging about it without apologizing.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a really good way to put it.
Mm-mm-mm. It looks nasty. It looks nasty. But I don't know. What do you guys think? There you go. Just
And
for you.
to me, it shows some entitlement. It's like, well, yeah, I did it because I should be able to do whatever I want to. You know, so to me, it's kind of a narcissistic tactic to be like, yeah, I owned it. I can do what I want to. I'm entitled
Mm-hmm.
to hurt whoever I want to hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So just for you, said admitting to it that blaming others for pushing you is not taking responsibility and accountability. That's true too. It's like you're responsible for your own behavior, and owning it means you're accepting responsibility for your own behavior. If you're saying, but you made me do it, that's not taking responsibility for your own stupid behavior. And it wouldn't be for me either. Anyway,
Yeah, that owning it thing.
it's such a load of
I've
BS.
I have never heard that used so much in my real
Mm,
life. It's
mm,
it's like it's a YouTube thing. Don't you think so?
mm.
Or maybe it's just
Well, it's a social
the true
media.
arguing community thing. I don't know.
It's a social media thing, and it's so damn tacky. Yeah, that's a great philosophy, Sen. I totally agree. I don't think anybody would deny that. But hey, everybody's definition of a dick is different. Let's face it, unfortunately. But there are guidelines, and that's what we're here to talk about. Like, how far are we willing to move the damn needle? Like, so, okay, now it's acceptable to look people up. Is it acceptable to dox people? What are we going to continue to support? What are you going to continue to throw your time and money at? Mm-mm-mm. I know. But that was my gripe. That's it's always going to be a gripe for me because I feel like owning it, admitting you have a problem is the first step. And now what are you going to do about the problem? Well, it's not a problem. You just owned it and you're bragging about it. Especially when you say you have no bottom, but I digress. These are things we learn in kindergarten. Yeah, a Bible study, kindergarten, there's a golden rule. I mean, we have all kinds of at home, maybe, our parents taught us as little children not to be a-holes, but maybe not. Maybe they spoiled us rotten and broke us. It's a convict thing. I wouldn't know, but it's a convict thing. Like, they're in a gang?
No, like if you're in jail and someone asks you, what are you in for? And you're like, I did such and such a crime and I'm owning it.
You know what? This goes back to that video I sent you earlier. People being proud that people basically want a cookie for doing some shit they were supposed to do. Anyway, the jail thing reminded me of that. A convict thing. Interesting. I didn't know that they were. I don't know who's a convict. You know why? Because I'm not looking them up. How about that? Interesting.
Remy says if you own it, but the behavior doesn't change, what's the point? Good question, Remy.
Yeah, that is absolutely what my point is in saying this and bringing this up. That's exactly what my point is. What difference does it make? I don't even see that comment in here.
Jenna's owning stuff in the chat, so.
Oh my God, this is like really professional. No. Yeah, well, raised by wolves or spoiled rotten or abused as children. In some instances, there's that. But you know what? I'm not the community psychologist, so I can't really speak to that. But yeah, okay, now I found her comment. I feel better because my eyes are just tired about it. Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. But see, here's the other thing though. People are entitled to second chances, right?
Yep.
Maybe not entitled, but people are given second chances, given the opportunity maybe to earn a second chance. Yeah. And so for me, I think most humans are redeemable. I mean, obviously there's some sicknesses, that are not treatable, mentally treatable. And hopefully you guys know what I mean without me having to say, the unthinkable things that people do that are evil. But when it comes to this other stuff, they could alter behavior and things like that. So for the most part, I think people could earn another chance, to make things right.
But when you give people a second chance is when they're repentant.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when that they have remorse.
They humble themselves.
Yes. Then yeah, you give them a second chance. Of
and
course.
They might say, I'm sorry, but I might not forgive them on the sorry. I might need to see a little bit of time where they acted like they, were sorry. They weren't going to do it again. But that's just me. The devil made you do it. You own it. Yep. So if you're not remorseful, might not deserve a second chance. But hey, you owned it, right? So it's all good. I don't accept that personally. I don't know if you guys do, but to me, I don't really think that you get a cookie for not doing some stuff that you weren't supposed to do in the first place. And on that note,
Well, my last comment on this is if I slap you in the face and I go, well, I owned it, are you going to be cool with that?
yeah,
And then slap you in the face again. But I owned it,
it's like, well, yeah,
Eritrea.
yeah, you own it, and now I'm gonna punch you in the eyeball.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna kick you in the crotch, and you're gonna fly. It's gonna get ugly, and then we're gonna have to act like dudes and go get a beer and talk it over. You know what I mean? Not, and I'm not talking about drama community dudes, but I digress. Well, what if I don't have remorse? I have regrets. Looking back, I did better. I did have better options, but at the time, that was the only way to get out of an abusive marriage. Yeah, no, that's totally, that's something that's totally real life. And that's between you and your higher power or your God or what your morality is. It depends on your morality. If it was survival, then obviously, most people aren't going to fault you for that in the long run. And you absolutely would deserve a second chance. You're trying to fight for your life. And I don't know what the circumstances are. I can't judge you, but I know that you're a beautiful person. Oh, Blaze. Second chances are wonderful. Sometimes folks turn out so much better than before. Others don't care about except number one. That's true. And a little bit of narcissism is not unhealthy in that I have to be okay in order to be helpful to others. However, come on. Let's just cut the crap. Oh goodness. Yep. If you're not remorseful, then sociopath. Yeah. Yeah, Remy. I have to agree with you on that one. You are, Jenna. You are. You're a sweetheart. And funny as hell, by the way. Just letting you know. She is hilarious. All right. So, do we want to
So
give?
someone named Mia is saying
Oh,
hello,
hi,
and I
Mia.
don't recognize Mia. Hello.
I recognize Mia. Mia's one of our people,
Okay.
and by that I don't mean on our
I believe
side,
you.
but yeah, Mia's a good one. Hi, Mia. Good to see you guys.
So
Um,
yeah, so
yeah.
every time we stream, we try to point out when someone did something positive or they made a good point this past week.
Okay, but can I say the cookie thing?
Oh yeah.
So,
What is your cookie
uh,
thing?
well, my cookie thing is that okay. So, Speak Truth with Love is a very positive person, right?
Really?
And yes,
Oh, okay.
you're critical, but you're performing critical thinking, right? So in that way you're critical, but you're also a positive person and you're looking for a positive message and maybe a takeaway. And I am critical of her being so kind sometimes because I do have a habit sometimes of feeling like I got to give you a ribbon for some stuff you're supposed to do. I gotta give you a prize for something that just any rational, normal human being may do. But it's not always like that because now I'm looking at the kudos here. But yes, sometimes we are going to reward good behavior, even if it's just the decent thing to do, because there's so many times that a decent thing doesn't happen. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. I want to make sure I'm not all over the place on that one.
No, you're making total sense.
You never say anything bad ever, Mia. You can say bad things if you want. But yeah, no, I know you. So this is Speak Truth with Love's favorite part of the show. And she loves it so much.
You don't like it so much?
I do. Here's what I appreciate. I appreciate that you can actually sign something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, this week was a little difficult.
Mhm.
But so there's two
It is.
people that
Mhm.
I'd like to acknowledge. And the first person is to give kudos to, right?
Uh-huh.
The first person is Amanda Lynn. And
Mandy Lynn.
yeah,
Amanda.
or Mandy
Yeah.
Lynn.
I think her channel is Amanda Lynn now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and I want to give her kudos for having the best content in our community this past week.
Mm.
And the content that I'm referring to, and she had some live streams, and I'm not saying anything disparaging about her live streams, but she did some videos about her newborn kittens. And to me, that was the best content in the community over the past week. So I want to thank her for that. I enjoyed her baby kitten videos.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they were very cute, very sweet. Good night, Blaze. Thank you so much for coming. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, no, I mean that was very sweet, and um, it shows that she's multifaceted. She's got lots of stuff going on. Look at Remy caught my. It's like the segment of Chris Rock did the comedy show back in the day. You want a trophy for what you're supposed to do, exactly. But in this instance, that was the most positive content, right? The best content, yeah. So there you go. Mandolin, where are you,
Yep.
girl?
And the second person that I wanted to give credit to is to Tiffany Marie, because she apologized this past week to multiple people. I remember hearing her on two different streams apologizing to multiple people.
Mm.
Because she had been very angry with those people for doubting Kim. And, she said that she realizes now that, she didn't have proof of the things that Kim was saying. And so she should not have been so hard on the people that were doubting Kim. And, that struck what's the phrase I'm looking for? Struck a chord with me, because that's something that I've been bothered by all along, is telling people that you don't have the right to doubt someone on YouTube.
Yes.
And so she apologized to people for being so angry about that. And I realized that it was probably a little bit of damage control. But she still did the right thing, because she owed people an apology, and she gave them an apology.
Yeah. So, whether you support her or not, it doesn't matter. And what we're talking about is a concept of, did somebody do the right thing? And that was the right thing to do. And I got to say, it was expected.
Yeah.
From what I heard, people expected that to happen. And so it was a wise thing to do. But yeah.
Yeah. And not everyone that did what she did and, were angry with people for doubting Kim, not all of them have apologized. And, Tiffany's the only one that has. So,
Mhm. Yeah, so there's probably a couple other people that could put that out there, a little bit, maybe 3 or 4. But, yeah, they could. They don't have to though. But in the long run, it's gonna speak to, I don't know, the quality of their character, you know? Why does my brain say Titans? I think I know why. But yeah, so kudos to Mandolin is her channel and Tiffany Marie for those 2 acts of either, positivity from Mandolin and, some balance there from Tiffany Marie. And, you know, we just want to recognize that sort of thing.
and Lanky Tour is very happy that Amanda Lynn is giving the kittens to good homes.
Oh, is she? I'm sure she is. She's the animal lover.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so a lot of people in here are animal lovers. Thank goodness. Don't tell me if you're not, okay? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Uh-oh. This better not be bad news. I just say that.
I was like,
friend,
what bad news were you expecting?
I'm not. But every time I get a text message, I'm like, this better not be bad news, girl. No, it's actually a notification. My friend texted me that Gonna Protect, because I've known her for like 12 years, is going live on YouTube, and she doesn't need any community. But just, what are you doing? I haven't brought her over here because I'm very terrified of that.
Of course you are.
Yeah, I don't want to taint her. So
Mia's asking about your cat, Kiki.
oh, Kiki. Kiki. I don't know what to say. She's a beautiful, luxurious beast. She roams freely in the house and is just her fat little self. She is living her best little beauty mark life. Thank you so much for asking. I totally missed that. Oh, I see. I was Kiki the cat. I think it's StreamYard does something very strange. Could I make a request? Okay. Is it possible that we can start? Thank you for asking, by the way, Mia. Yeah, you don't hear her because she's asleep on her tree right now with her face covered. She's sick of hearing my mouth. What was my request? Oh, can we start calling it StreamYard? There isn't an S at the end of it. I just wanted to say.
Do you have to correct everybody?
Yeah, I do.
Just kidding.
I do.
I say it. Wait, it's StreamYard, right?
It is StreamYard.
Well, I'm just copying what everyone else says.
I know.
No, yeah, I'm the same way. You know how I am. I'm always complaining about people pronouncing things incorrectly. So you can have that one.
Okay, thanks. Linky Tor, I am aware of anal, and we can talk about that on my channel a little bit. I don't mind. I have an opinion. You're back. What did you miss? Okay, let's repeat everything from Amanda Ray. Hopefully this video processes quickly because I've been noticing that ours don't sometimes show up. So if you have the link and you want to go back and listen, go ahead and do so. Plus, we do have the DVR. Kiki does run things. Yes, very much. She honestly lays in a ball and purrs. Like, she's a perfect cat.
Remy is trying to pronounce something in the chat. And
Munchausen's.
I think that that's commonly mispronounced. I think it's Munchausen.
It's Munchausen. Yes.
Okay, yeah. But some people say Munchausers. Whatever. We all know what you're trying to say.
But it's so funny. It's so funny when they're all riled up and I'm Munchausen. It's the Munchausen. Keeping the channel clean since 2020. Yes, I'm trying to. And I gotta say, it's really, really hard for anybody to critique. If somebody has a Munchausen type thing going on and saying they're a scammer, they may have been asking for money, they may have been asking for favors, and then to say it only applies to this one person. Oh, it's been a year and a half, it's been 2 years. It has not been 2 years. It has been like a year. Okay. So, we could talk about that on my channel though. I'll be nice over here. I'm trying to be nice on my channel too. But
yeah,
Munchausen. No, someone said that.
Munchausen.
Oh yeah, someone does say that over and over and over. Yeah, you're right on point there with that one, Remy. Mia has the right pronunciation. Well, hey you guys, so I just want to say thank you for coming. Yep. Sorry that we weren't here on Monday. We're going to try to be consistent with Monday, right? I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. And but like I said in the beginning, some stuff happened. But again, if you guys have any topical suggestions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section, which helps us a lot. Helps us grow the channel. If you're a lurker and you're not typing or you're shy, go ahead and go to the About section of this channel on the back page. And I can't believe I just said back page. Anyway, go to the About section of the channel. There's an email. We check it hopefully once a week. So we will check it, and you can use a fake email. It doesn't even matter. It's only for show ideas. We don't even need to know who you are if you don't want credit. If you do, though, put your name, your screen name in the email. Did you have any closing arguments, opinions, feelings, or tears to shed?
No. I've shed all the tears I could possibly
left to cry?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have cried my eyes dry.
Yeah. And can you guys do me a huge favor? I don't know if I'm in the algo anymore on my channel. And I know we're not here to promote other channels, but I am for a minute. Just if you guys could, if you are subscribed to me, just keep an eye on my community posts. I'm going to try to do members only thing too. Just because I have to. I haven't been able to. It's been ridiculous. Yeah. Everyone stay safe.
Get with it.
I need someone with 70 whips to whip me into shape, bruh. What's up? Anyway. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to end for this week, but we will be back next week. And thank you for coming.
And thanks to the lurkers, the chatters, and the mods.
Yes. Thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate you. And I'll see you guys next time. If you like the stream, can you please share it? Like put it on Twitter or something. Because I heard Twitter's like kind of popular lately in this community. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Good night.
Take care. Good night.